And another thing, I'm a free man. Stop, goddamn, I'm not locked up. I'm straight. I was, but I'm back. I'm straight.
What's a last name really worth when the lights flip on and the paperwork lands? Some people swear a famous family is a shield. Others find out it's a magnifying glass. For King Harris, those two ideas collided the moment headlines stopped being entertainment and started reading like receipts. The internet judged in seconds. The courts moved on their own clock. Two timelines, one name, and a million eyes waiting for the next clip. This isn't about one viral moment. It's about how a persona meets a paper trail. The Falcons blowup didn't happen in a vacuum. It set the tone for how every update would be read afterwards. Louder, harsher, and way less forgiving. And when arrest details and body cam chatter resurfaced months later, the story didn't just return, it hardened. Fans debated, critics circled, and rumor accounts filled the gaps with whatever would travel fastest. So here's the plan. We'll separate what's documented from what's just buzzing.
Trenches.
Am I from the trenches?
You gotta think. What the hell? Why you gotta
Because
think?
it's a yes or no question, y'all.
Yeah, it's a yes
My
or no.
life is difficult.
Okay, talk to me. Tell me why it's difficult.
Alright, so I was raised with my grandma.
Then let you decide which version holds up. First, the moment that cracked the public image open and never quite closed again. It started like background noise, game day chatter, celebrity smiles, live comments flying past the screen. Then the tone shifted. What looked like playful back and forth between father and son tilted into a real argument, the kind you can feel in your stomach even through a phone. King pushed against the silver spoon label, insisting he'd seen more than people thought. T.I. countered with the weight of experience, warning that image without discipline is a trap. Pride met pride. Nobody blinked. Viewers didn't just watch, they took sides. Some saw a young man trying to stand on his own name. Others saw a father flashing hazard lights that were ignored in real time. The clip spread faster than context ever could, chopped into reaction videos and stitched into memes. Every replay made the edges sharper.
Trying to coddle him for. Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
The words, the posture, the sudden grip that turned a debate into a headline. It wasn't just a family moment anymore. It was a public referendum on legacy, accountability, and what tough love looks like when a million people are in the room. The fallout stuck. Strangers felt entitled to diagnose a relationship from 30 seconds of heat. Comment sections wrote a whole backstory: spoiled kid versus strict dad, TV fame versus real life, attention versus respect. That's the thing about viral moments. They don't end when the live stream ends. They echo. They tint everything that comes after. So when new developments hit later, people didn't meet them fresh. They brought this clip with them like a lens. And that lens mattered. It made every update feel louder and every rumor feel closer to the truth than it actually was. The Falcons incident turned a private friction into a public frame, and once a frame sets, it's hard to step outside it. Which is why the next part hit the way it did, because by then the internet thought it already knew the story.
T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected.
Now let's pin the dates and cut through the noise, what actually happened when the paperwork showed up. Let's slow the scroll and set the timeline. In 2022, King picked up a traffic case, speeding, a suspended license, and a suspected DUI listed in the paperwork. That case didn't just vanish because the headlines did. When you miss a court date, courts don't shrug, they issue a failure to appear warrant. That's the fuse a lot of people forget about. Jump to October 2024 in Dunwoody, Georgia. During a stop, officers run the name, the system pings, and the warrant lights up. From there, it's procedural. He's booked in DeKalb County, processed, and then transferred to Pickens County, because warrants send you back to the court that owns your case. This isn't special treatment or extra punishment. It's how jurisdiction works. Different county, same rules.
I lived with my grandma. She had a great house, but in a bad area.
How much I manipulate the line at the
If
time.
anybody know Terra Boulevard, Flint River,
Okay.
Clayco, that's where I'm from.
Paper beats persona every time. There was also a holstered firearm noted in coverage of the arrest. Officers remove it, log it, and continue. The key detail in those reports: King appears cooperative throughout. That matters because the internet tends to rewrite tone. But booking rooms record behavior in forms and timestamps, not hot takes. Then the story boomeranged. In August 2025, body cam footage from that 2024 stop resurfaced and hit the algorithm like it was new. That's the modern media loop: old tape, fresh outrage. Clips get sliced into 10-second bites where context can't fit. So what looks like a dramatic discovery is often just last year's file finally going viral. People re-argued the Falcons moment, projected it onto the body cam, and decided the clip proved whatever they already believed. 2 more points most timelines skip. Moving counties is a paperwork relay, not a plot twist. FTA is mechanical. Miss the date, warrant triggers, show up or get picked up. Fame can delay reactions online, not in court calendars. So the confirmed sequence is straightforward. 2022 case, missed appearance, warrant, October 2024 arrest and transfer, August 2025 body cam resurgence. No secret passages, no hidden chapter, just process. The noise lives around it, not inside it, and that's where the perception battle starts. One column marked record, the other marked reaction. Next, how the internet turned a legal timeline into a running identity test. Since that Falcons clip, King hasn't just been judged, he's been categorized. The internet loves clean labels, so it wrote 2, rebellious heir and performing tough. Every new post slotted neatly into one of those boxes. Nuance didn't trend, narratives did. His fans point to pressure. Growing up on camera means mistakes don't fade, they get archived. They argue he's trying to prove he's more than a last name, that the blowups are growing pains, not a blueprint. Critics counter that the persona looks curated for reactions, loud talk, quick temper, clips built for stitches. To them, it's performance first, maturity later. Algorithms don't care who's right, they care about friction. A father-son clash plus a polarizing persona equals infinite duet this content. The fastest path to views is a strong take, not a careful one. So the discourse hardened. One side calls him misunderstood, the other calls him cosplaying danger. Both sides double down whenever a new snippet appears. There's also the shadow of expectation. Being T.I.'s son means the room walks in already decided about you, what you've earned, what you've been given, what you owe. If you play humble, you're pretending. If you push back, you're ungrateful. Either way, the comments keep score, and because the timeline remembers the worst 5 seconds, any calm update has to fight through an old meme to be heard. Then there's the masculinity trap. Online audiences reward bravado right up until the second it gets real. Viewers cheer for stand-on business, but they also relish the fall if the energy isn't backed by quiet discipline. That's the paradox. Virality asks for volume. Adulthood asks for consistency. You can win the clip and lose the week. Meanwhile, the family dynamic sits under a magnifying glass. Support looks like coddling to some. Tough love looks like spectacle to others. Commentators treat private boundaries like public content, as if parenting has a scoreboard and everyone's a referee. The result is a reputation that moves in swings. One day, redemption arc, next day, cautionary tale. Not because the facts changed, but because a new edit hit for you. And when the legal updates resurfaced, people didn't examine them. They ranked them against their existing story of who King is supposed to be. That's why the next part matters. When a feed is primed for drama, unverified claims don't need evidence, they just need momentum, which is exactly what we have to separate next. What people say happened versus what we can actually point to. Here's what rumors claim: that King faced violent retaliation while in custody, that secret feuds, debts, or messages set the stage, that things escalated beyond a typical altercation. Important. No major newsroom has confirmed those specific claims at the time of this recording. Most of what's circulating about ICU, targeted ambushes, or hush-hush guards comes from commentary channels and repost chains, viral by design, source thin. Treated as internet chatter, not documented fact. That's where this belongs until credible verification appears. So why do these stories catch fire? Because they offer a simple answer to a complicated image. A famous kid, a loud persona, and a place where fame doesn't mean anything. It's a perfect storm. Just remember the difference between noise and news. Meanwhile, the wider family picture adds layers, and this part actually has paperwork behind it. Zoom out and you see why the Harris name carries extra gravity online. Over the years, T.I. and Tiny have faced a rolling wave of allegations that they've consistently denied. Some matters surfaced in civil filings, others in media reports. A few moved forward for a time and then stalled or were dismissed on procedural grounds. That last part matters. Dismissed isn't a moral verdict, it's a legal outcome tied to rules like deadlines, jurisdiction, and evidentiary standards. In plain English, a judge can close a case without deciding who's right. A prosecutor can decline to proceed for reasons that have nothing to do with internet narratives. Because these stories reappear every few months, the public tends to remember the headline and forget the paperwork. A petition gets filed, a press conference goes viral, and months later, a quiet order, stipulation, or declination lands with a whisper. The result is a perception gap. To casual viewers, the cloud feels permanent even when the docket says otherwise. Add celebrity status and the gap widens. Familiar names draw louder speculation and stickier rumors. For King Harris, this backdrop functions like a filter. Any update about him, mundane or major, gets read through the family's wider press history. Supporters argue that he's carrying a weight he didn't create. Critics claim the brand reaps the benefits of fame and should shoulder the fallout of controversy. Both takes ignore the messy middle, where legal reality and public storytelling rarely line up. The internet is built to amplify accusation. Courts are built to slow it down. That collision makes every new headline feel like proof of an old belief. Here's the clean way to track it. When family-wide allegations trend, separate three things: claims, what people are saying; responses, what the family and their lawyers formally deny or dispute; and outcomes, what a court or prosecutor actually does. If a claim hasn't reached a courtroom, it's allegation only. If it's in court, watch the orders and filings. If it's resolved, note how dismissal, withdrawal, settlement, or simple inaction. Each label means something specific. None of them translates neatly into a meme. All of this shapes how people receive King's story. A resurfaced clip doesn't land on blank paper. It lands on a timeline thick with context, emotions, and arguments that predate him. That's why we keep the language tight and the framing precise. What's documented gets dates, what's disputed gets labeled, and anything unverified stays in the speculation bucket. It isn't about cleaning up the narrative, it's about keeping it honest. With that frame in place, we can step back into King's Lane and look at the bigger question: what does a last name help with, and what does it never change when real life shows up? Does a famous last name open doors? Of course. But a last name can't rewrite court dates, hold back a body cam upload, or soften how strangers judge you in 5 seconds flat. In legal systems, calendars matter more than clout. On social media, the loudest clip wins, not the most accurate one. That tension, brand benefits versus real-world limits, is the arena King is walking through. And every step gets scored in public. The catch is how brand tilts the room. Entourages reward what trends, not what lasts. A risky post gets spun as engagement. A quiet month gets framed as you fell off. Money can hire counsel and buy time. It can't buy discipline, patience, or respect. In the end, reputation moves on 2 tracks. Performance, the viral moment, and pattern, the boring, repeatable choices. Performance is loud, pattern decides outcomes. Line those up and the noise starts losing its grip. So where does that leave this story, and what should you believe? Here's the split that actually matters. On one side, confirmed events: the Falcons altercation, the 2024 arrest and transfer, the 2025 body cam resurfacing, and the 2024 lawsuit dismissal involving his parents. On the other, unverified claims that move fast because they're dramatic, not because they're documented. One column has timestamps, the other has momentum, both shape perception. Only one shapes the record. Redemption, if it's coming, won't announce itself in a rumor thread. It shows up in boring choices. Calendar hits, quiet months, the kind of consistency that never trends. The camera can't manufacture that. It can only catch it after the fact. And if the story tilts the other way, it'll be for the same reason. Small decisions stacked until they harden into a headline no one can spin. There's a simple test for everything from here. Can you point to it? If it's a filing, a court order, a dated statement, count it. If it's a cropped screenshot with trust me energy, let it sit until proof shows up. That discipline keeps you from mistaking volume for truth. And it gives space for something people rarely grant online: time to change. Legacy isn't a clip, it's a ledger. A famous name opens the door, but the entries after that are earned. Appointments kept, calls returned, temptations dodged, apologies made, boundaries held. None of that is flashy, all of it is decisive. Do it long enough and the storyline stops looping. The performance and the pattern finally match. So here's the challenge for anyone watching. Separate what you think from what you can point to. Give more weight to filings than to feelings, and leave space for people to change away from the comments. In the end, a last name can open a door. What happens after you walk through is on you. Tell us what you see: legacy being built or a hard lesson in progress.